Is your attic leaking air and driving up your energy bills? Keep watching to see how a little DIY air sealing can make a big difference in comfort and savings. Let's get started. Welcome back to At Home with the EPB Energy Pros. I'm Carrie, and today we're tackling a project that can really pay off: air sealing your attic. And with me today is our EPB Energy Pro, Nate. Hi, Nate.
Hey Carrie, this is a DIY project that can help homeowners save money and keep their homes more comfortable year-round. And best of all, it's doable with just a few supplies and some elbow grease.
Sounds like a win-win. But let's start with the basics. How do you even know if you need to air seal your attic?
Great question. Here are some telltale signs. Drafty rooms, especially on the upper floor, higher than usual power bills during extreme heat or cold, rooms that are noticeably warmer or cooler than the rest of the house, unexplained dust buildup throughout your home, dirt collecting around your air vents or registers, insulation in your attic that looks patchy or dirty in certain areas. Even things like ice forming on your roof during winter can be a clue. If you're noticing any of these, chances are your attic is leaking air, which means your heated or cooled air is escaping and outdoor air is creeping in, costing you money.
So sealing up those leaks keeps that comfortable air inside where it belongs. But what's the difference between air sealing and insulation, and which one should be done first?
Another great question. Insulation helps slow heat transfer, but if you have air leaks that warm or cool air can still escape, air sealing comes first. It stops the leaks, and then insulation keeps the heat where you want it. If you only insulate without sealing, you're not getting the full benefit.
Got it. So if someone already has insulation but didn't air seal first, they should go back and do it now.
Exactly. You may have to move some insulation around, but it's worth it for energy savings.
All right, so before we start, let's talk supplies. What do we need and where can we get them?
Here's your go-to list for a basic attic air sealing kit. And the good news is you can find everything at your local hardware store, home improvement center, or even online.
Perfect. Hit me with the list.
You'll need caulk and a caulk gun. Look for silicone or acrylic latex caulk for those smaller cracks under 1/4 inch. Spray foam insulation. Grab both low expansion foam for medium gaps and high expansion foam for big gaps around pipes or ductwork. Rigid foam board insulation, great for sealing large openings around vents or plumbing. Utility knife for cutting foam board to size. Weather stripping for sealing around the attic hatch or door. Adhesive backed foam tape works great. Gloves, safety goggles, and knee pads, always a good idea, especially working in small spaces around insulation and with spray foam. Dust mask keeps you from breathing in insulation particles or dust. Flashlight or headlamp, you'll need good light to spot cracks and gaps. Blue painter's tape or sticky notes to mark all the leaks before you start sealing. Measuring tape helps when cutting insulation to size. And a thermal leak detector, infrared thermometer, or a smoke pencil. These are not required, but using one can make finding leaks faster and more accurate.
That's a perfect list, and none of that is too fancy or expensive, right?
Nope, not at all. You can pick everything up for around $100 or less depending on what you already have at home. Big box stores like Home Depot or Lowe's will have all of it. And even most neighborhood hardware stores like Ace Hardware carry the basics. Plus, if you prefer shopping online, Amazon's got you covered.
So for under $100, you can get everything you need to make a serious dent in your home's energy loss.
That's right, and the savings can add up fast.
All right, let's get to work. What is step one?
First, we've got to find the trouble spots, and the attic's got plenty of places where air can sneak in or out. And before you head up, make sure you're wearing long pants and long sleeves to protect your skin from insulation.
So where do we start looking?
Start near the floor of the attic, right along where the walls meet the ceiling of the rooms below. That's where most leaks hide. Also check around any light fixtures, plumbing pipes, vents or fans, chimneys or flues, electrical wiring that pokes through the attic floor, and of course, the attic hatch itself.
Okay, and how do we actually spot a leak?
2 easy ways. First, you can use a thermal leak detector or an infrared thermometer. Those show you hot or cold spots where air is moving through. Just scan around and look for sudden changes in temperature. It's super handy.
And what if you don't have one of those?
A smoke pencil is a great way to identify leaks. It works by releasing a thin stream of smoke that helps you see where air is moving. If there's an air leak, the smoke will waver, get pulled in, or blow away, showing you exactly where air is sneaking in or out of your home. It's a simple but effective tool for spotting hidden leaks around windows, doors, and attic access points.
Love that. So once you find the leaks, what's the best way to keep track of them?
Simple, blue painter's tape or sticky notes. Just stick it right next to the leak so you can come back to it later with your caulk or foam. I like to write little notes on mine like spray foam here or caulk this wire so I don't forget what I planned.
That's smart. So it's basically like doing a little attic scavenger hunt and leaving yourself a checklist.
Exactly. Once everything's marked, sealing it all up is much faster and easier.
All right, so now that we've marked all the problem areas, what's next?
Now we start sealing. Here's how we tackle each type of leak. Small cracks and gaps. These are anything under 1/4 inch. Grab your silicone or acrylic latex caulk and run a steady bead of caulk along the crack. Smooth it out with your finger or a caulking tool. This works great around wiring, plumbing, and small penetrations. Low expansion spray foam can also be a good fit. Larger gaps. For anything wider than 1/4 inch, low expansion spray foam is your best friend. Shake the can, attach the applicator straw, and carefully fill the gap. Just remember, a little goes a long way. This foam expands as it dries, so don't overfill. For larger holes around plumbing or ductwork, cut pieces of rigid foam board or use sheet metal to cover the opening. Then seal around the edges with high expansion spray foam. This helps block air movement and improves insulation. Around chimneys and flue pipes, special care is needed here. These metal surfaces can get very hot. Never use standard spray foam or caulk. Instead, use fire-rated, high-temperature caulk or sealant designed for use around chimneys and gas water heater flue pipes. Follow the product instructions closely and never block airflow needed for ventilation or combustion. The attic catch. This is a major source of air leakage. Add weather stripping around the perimeter of the hatch or door to create a tight seal. You can also attach rigid foam board to the back of the hatch for extra insulation. Final check. Once you've sealed everything, go back over the area with a thermal leak detector or a smoke pencil. If you still spot temperature shifts or airflow, double check those spots and reapply your sealant as needed.
That actually seems pretty straightforward, but what if someone isn't comfortable doing all of this on their own?
If you have major structural gaps, complex ductwork, or a very old home with unknown insulation issues, it's best to call in an expert. Some air sealing rebates are even available if you hire a professional.
Good to know. So whether you do it yourself or bring in a pro, air sealing is an easy way to save money and stay comfortable.
Absolutely. And remember, a well-sealed home is an energy-efficient home.
Thanks, Nate, and thank you for watching At Home with the EPB Energy Pros. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss our next video. And remember, an EPB Energy Pro can come to your home for a free energy checkup to help you find even more ways to save energy and money. They can also use tools like a blower door test and duct blaster test to detect hidden air leaks in your home structure and ductwork, so we can recommend the best ways to seal them up and improve your comfort and efficiency.
That's right. Just give us a call, and as always, thank you for watching.